I'm going to ask Jan Delgado, who is the founder of this extraordinary BRIGHTMED Festival, to come and talk to us about its inspiration and him. He's going to have some questions for you. If remember, we asked you at the very beginning of this, you know, how would you get yourself out of chaos and what's your understanding of chaos? So he will be asking one or two of you questions along those lines. So I hope you've got some answers. Meanwhile, Jan. Are you just going to plough on? Yes. You plough on.
Okay. So there's no question for me. Great. Thanks for being here. Obviously, being in such a room, but it's so windy outside. Frankly, it's quite great to be here. When Levi said at the age of 11, he decided. He didn't decide, but he failed 11 plus and 13 plus. At the age of 11 exactly, I thought the exact opposite. I was not happy with this world at all. I was not happy, not understanding anything. It was my chaos, as you said. So I thought there were many, many other solutions, and people and adults obviously could do things better. Of course, they can always do better. And I thought, why don't I, on the contrary, work extremely hard, all the academics, try to climb the ladder, and when I'm there, then I will make some proposals. So here I am. But it took me 50 years. What a waste of time. To understand that I should maybe go to music instead of practicing finance or doing all these incredible jobs. They probably taught me a lot. So we don't encourage you to fail or to work super hard, but as we said, find your way. Instead of wasting 50 years, we would like to offer you a shortcut and come on stage today. If you agree, Susanna, who's not only Susanna, and she worked at BBC and so on, so you would have the privilege to be asked two questions. One is, what is your own definition of chaos? You must have things to say. And what are your solutions? How do you get out of chaos? How do you manage it? Is there any boy who would like to come on stage? Please raise hands. This is the famous one. Any girl who would like to come on stage, please raise hands. Girls, you are brave, we know that. I see only boys raising hands.
Yes, there's a girl.
Yes? Please. Okay, what's your name?
Jace.
And what's your name?
Karina.
Karina. Jace and Karina. Is there any adult who would like to come on stage? They are less brave. No? Anyone in the front?
We need at least one teacher. Come on.
One teacher. Perfect. Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Mr. Perez.
Mr. Perez. Okay, so we're going to start maybe with you, Karina. Sit in front of Susanna and please enlighten us. We're going to wait for her if you don't mind.
Hello. Very nice to meet you too. And shush, one of the best things you can do to your colleagues is show them a little respect by listening to what they have to say. So, as you know, the first question, what is your definition of chaos?
My definition of chaos is a situation which has a lot of issues and trouble going on.
And have you experienced such a situation yourself?
I don't know whether what I've gone through you could consider as chaos, but I think I would consider it to be.
Well, you can talk to us a bit about that if you want to. But then, if there was a situation where it was chaotic, how did you get through it? How did you cope with it?
I sort of looked at it at a different perspective and tried to see my situation around it. So maybe look from the other person and talk to them out of it, basically.
So this was very much without probing too far. This is about relationships and about you having the courage, because it does take courage and the understanding, to look at something from another person's point of view.
Yes. I think it's definitely also about maturity in a situation of chaos, because you want to, instead of making it worse, you want to try and sort it while it's still a small situation, instead of it going into a huge chaotic situation when it's other people are involved and you're just messing up for everyone.
Thank you. And I think that's a really interesting thing, that at such a young age, to have learnt already that actually you stop something in its tracks and you don't allow it to fester, and that you look at something from somebody else's point of view. Right? So remind us all of your name again.
Jace.
Okay. Obviously, a star in the making. Jace, what's your definition of chaos?
Basically, it's a thing where you have to deal with, which is really bad. Like, for example, when when my granny passed away, I had to deal with it like very bad. I had to go to my house. I was very sad because I was in school, and I'm like to my teacher, I need to go home. I'm very sad. My granny has passed away, so I went to my house, and all my cousins was there. And we were sitting in the sofa and we were all sad, crying, stuff like that. And I was a few days sad, trying to deal with it, and then now I've got over it. And we even had to cancel the holiday as well of Mexico because she had cancer.
But leaving aside the fact that you had to cancel your holiday, which is obviously traumatic thing, the traumatic, pretty bad, but also the traumatic nature of what happened when your granny died, is that what you're talking about is a situation over which you have no control. Is that your definition then of chaos?
Yeah, because I have no control. I mean, nowadays, like you can't control when people die. Like when they die, it's the time. And cancer as well, they're still researching for cancer and stuff like that, and they don't know what to do yet with cancer. So,
how did you get through it then? What helped you?
Well, I helped. I just watched funny videos. I watched Jack Jones. I watched Jack Jones in YouTube, and I started. I started watching it, and me and my cousins were laughing because it was really funny. And then we got over it, and as a family, we went to my mom and dad went to Tenerife because we were meant to go to Mexico, and with the Mexico money, we went to Tenerife and we went to CM Park and stuff, and that's what cheered me up more.
I think we've learned some very interesting lessons this morning. The first lesson is that you don't have to, you can leave school at 14 and it not be a disaster, although I wouldn't advise it. You don't have to pass your 11 plus, but because you can still succeed and you go on and follow your dreams and find yourself. But the other thing is, one way of coping with grief is to watch funny videos and thereby do a whole load of very expensive counsellors out of business. However, sir, your turn now. So, a brave man. What's your definition, apart from a room full of school children, what is your definition of chaos?
My definition of chaos is being overwhelmed or being stressed, or just having to be organized, which is not me. And that's really it.
That's really it. And how do you cope with it? How do you get out of it?
Relying on other people. Help. Ask for help. Try and be more organized, obviously. Besides that, it's just generally trying to have fun, balancing out work and life.
Yes.
That's the main thing.
I think that's right. It was something Levi said about not being defined by his work. His job is one thing, but actually he is something completely different. And I think you've just more or less said the same thing. And the other thing is reaching out to other people. There's always a moment to reach out for other people, never be on your own. So I hope, well, what do we think? Do we think they answered their questions about chaos? Thank you very much indeed, our volunteers.
Thank you, thank you.
You can go now.
You can make your way to the... Thank you very much.
You've had your moment of glory.
Thank you. Yes, I think they all have the right definition of chaos. The mistake would be to think that there is no chaos and we need to go out of chaos. The chaos exists everywhere, all the time. It's how you manage it. And I think you all came with a solution like, it comes from you. And we heard our speakers as well. It comes from you. It's your choice, it's your decision to make something else happening or something better happening. Watching videos, for example, or other interesting possibilities. Because there are things we cannot control, and they happen. You miss your bus, you fail at an exam, adults have bigger problems, sometimes. They divorce, we lose people around us, and we tend to live here, at this level. We get feelings, they hurt, these news are hurting us, or these events, and what do? We have the choice. So I would like to offer you two keys. When it comes here, you have, of course, the choice to leave it at the bottom of your body. And what happens? You have a big weight and you start to walk like this and you think you're depressed and that's your life. No. Try to get it here. Think about it. There is a solution. There is a possibility. Is it about timing? Is it about pausing? Is it about another solution around you or someone else, etc.? The solutions are around you. And then you can make your life sweeter. So the second concept is, yes, how do we do this? It's very easy to say, but very difficult to do. It's all about you. Do you know yourself? Do you have an idea of your self-identity? And when I mean identity, we're not talking about a passport or a religion, and that could help, by the way, to have a flag and a religion and principles. But in family, how do you behave? You've been given gifts by the universe, by God, by the creation, name it. You've been given gifts. What are these gifts? You all have one or few. Try to identify them. In a family, how do you behave? What is your contribution to the family? Is it respect? Is it sharing? Is it caring? At work, how do you approach the work? Are you more analytical? Are you more creative? Try to define yourself, your personality. Your spirituality will come as well, or is already there. You have a soul. How do you connect to this universe? And when you have a pretty fair notion of who you are in all these domains, and you can take a blank page and write all of this and say, I am like this, you stand for yourself. You understand yourself even better, and you can solve problems. So these are the two keys. You choose here or there, and you have to know yourself. And that's it on my side. Thank you so much.